What's happening, Wrestling Nation? Coach Kennelly here. Today I got a solitary mind of a madman. I'm going to talk about mixed martial arts. What a crazy time to be alive in this. I'm a fan of pro sports. I have been my whole life. When I was young, they were always playing in the background when my grandmother raised me. And my family, we were in Chicago, big sporting culture, so we'd come together for all sorts of pro sports teams. And I would dream about one day, being on these, participating in some sort of capacity, player, coach, etc. I liked it all. And life happened, genetics happened, went through college, and pro sports just weren't in my future. And it went into other things, went into coaching, wrestling. They didn't have a pro level at the time. And then I found my way to mixed martial arts. And what a crazy time to be alive in mixed martial arts. Like, I cannot go to the Milwaukee Bucks and go shoot around with them. I can't go to Miller Park and go have a catch, do some batting practice with the Brewers. But you could walk into MMA gyms all over the world, and some of them you could go with pros right away. I train with professional fighters on the regular. There's 4 or 5 of them out of Pura Vida, and I love going with them, and I appreciate that the earliness of the sport. I mean, UFC 1, when I think martial arts truly, began and launched. I know there was promotions before, it was 93. So it's not that old of a sport. And I even looked up some different dates of when things happened, because right now it's still the Wild West in regards to training, preparation. People do different things. There's more than one way to skin a squirrel, I've been told. And the fighters, some of them are very, you have your disciplined end here with like your Bo Nickels and Khabibs I'd probably put over there. And you have your McGregors, your O'Malley's, your Nate Diaz's over there. There's belts on both ends and belts in between. So it really is fun to me to wrap my brain around the different ways you could be a top level professional fighter. You could throw John Bones Jones in there, wherever you want to. Whereas wrestling, where I came from, I have a good idea of what the top 10% of wrestlers are doing on a weekly, monthly basis, because it's pretty similar. It's the world oldest sport. There's lots of ways to do it. So I'm super interested in all these different ways that MMA has to approach it, and the different styles at these gyms, or even some people won't have a gym. They'll just have a one-man individual team, and I'm really starting to like the different approaches and see how I can adapt them into my wrestling and MMA, or wrestling and jiu-jitsu stuff. So the first team I could find was a Militich Fighting System, and they're only 1997 they were founded. Some other ones you might have heard of: Quest in the West Coast in 2000, American Top Team, they're kind of like the South, 2001. Rufus Sport was really early, I found, 1993. Now, that was just in a basement. I don't know when they got their full mixed martial arts program, but they are some pioneers in not only the mixed martial arts game, but kickboxing in Milwaukee. So I got to pay respect where respect is due. And Pura Vida, where I train at, was founded in 2010. So that gym's only 15 years old. And it's just fun because you could go in, like I know Sean Strickland will beat up dudes off the street. And in 2009, the MMA or the UFC started launching their old gym. So these are accessible. You can still find these guys. They're very easily reachable on social medias, things like that. Some of them are starting their own YouTube pages. So I just wanted to say, what a time to be alive in this sport, where a guy like me can come from coaching almost no physical activity besides like basic body maintenance, weight training, things like that, to wrestling again, to doing grappling, to doing some MMA sparring, to now I'm doing, this will be my second fight camp that I'm doing. And what a great experience. Like, I was just in there so happy to be around these pro athletes, see how the sausage is made, see the details and how everything's going in the back. As a fan perspective is first, then a coach, then an athlete. And as an athlete, I kept waiting for them to say, like, hey, Shane, get off the mat. It's time for us to put in the real work. But that never came. I was able to, go against these guys, give them a good look, and get that rub, and now it's just addicting. So I'm going to see how far this MMA journey can take me. It might go through the moon. Like Izzy Martinez is probably the best example I've seen from somebody who came from the wrestling world into the MMA world and had a lot of success, that didn't compete inside the cage, which I don't plan on doing because I'm 36 years young, and with 2 children and a wife, it doesn't seem the best in my future. But I do plan on winning world titles in wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So I have other combat sports goals, just necessarily not punching. I want to learn it and learn the striking. I'm interested in kickboxing, Muay Thai one day, but right now those are down the road a little bit. As I keep venturing into this MMA, I wouldn't mind being a judge. I don't think I want to be a referee, but I could judge some fights. I'm going to take some classes, hopefully on that soon. So I just want to say there's a lot of opportunity in this space. Not a lot of money. Honestly, it's a broke man's game, broke woman's game, because women are in it too. But if you want to have a noble pursuit, if you want to have a fun pursuit, a challenging pursuit, mixed martial arts is out there, and holler at me in Milwaukee, and let's see, what we can link and what we can make together. So thanks for watching. It's peace and much love to you.